They say that the teacher shows up when the student is ready. What if the teacher is life?
Ladies and gentlemen, here we have a metaphysical mentalist, we have a personal trainer, we have a spiritualist, we have a God body. We have the founder of Free the Mind Fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, Shak Allah, Shak Ra, welcome.
How you doing, guys?
Bro, thank you, bro. Thank you for coming through.
I love what you're doing.
I love that. So that quote you said, when the teacher is ready, the student will appear. Or when the teacher is ready, the student will appear. Yes. What if the teacher is life? I believe that. So it's almost like when your awareness is at a certain level, everything becomes a teacher.
Yes, because I feel oftentimes we go looking for a teacher. We think that we need a teacher, but we don't realize that everything that we need to learn in life is within our realm, within our space. So this is why when people say, I need to get new books, I need to get new this, do that. You don't need to get anything, I feel.
It's like you're projecting knowledge like
exactly.
outward.
Yes. You're projecting that you have lack of, and you don't. So I think that it's best to be mindful of how we say that we need things.
Yes.
Because we really don't need it.
So, I mean, but let's say need is desire, right? Doesn't desire kind of like create your reality? Because it's like, I desire to have a better body. I desire to have better finances. So that need is actually, it is what causes manifestation.
I find that desires is what gets us in trouble.
Yeah.
I think our desires come from somewhere, usually. It can be an outside influence, or it can even be an inside influence, but ultimately it is an outside influence because where is it coming from? Now, a desire to have a good body.
Yes.
Words are very ambiguous. What is a good body? So
yes, you say.
I think it's
an attachment.
Exactly. And you also compare yourself a lot.
Yes.
And you don't accept the way that you look. So I think that's a problem. But yeah.
How does it lend itself to what you're going through in your own experience right now? Like, what do you desire right now within your own experience?
I desire peace.
Mm-hmm.
I desire cleanliness.
Yeah.
I desire.
Wait, cleanliness. You know, I say cleanliness is that's godliness.
Yes.
Well, why cleanliness?
All right, because many of the men that you know, that you see outside, I challenge you to ask them what their room looks like. And as we were just talking about, you can't profess to want to be this leader or somebody who's helping people and your shit isn't in order. So my room is usually something that is all over the place because I have a ton of things in my mind.
Yes.
Not because I'm a dirty person.
Yeah.
But because I have a ton of things in my mind. And I know that we hear the saying, a cluttered mind is a cluttered space.
Yes, that's
so. This is what.
So it's almost like that's what like feng shui is. Feng shui is that.
I mean, that's a whole science around putting things in a certain place so the energy can flow in your room.
Because it's also like they lend itself to every aspect of the sensation. So even like this, so the smell of the space. So being intentional about the smell, being intentional about what's being heard, being intentional about being seen. So you come to the space and it smells like sage. They're playing binaural beats. You know what I mean? So it's almost.
And oftentimes, a lot of women will go into houses. I've had women come to my house and I had curtains on the sheet on the window, not curtains. I had sheets.
Yes.
On the window.
Yeah.
Looking like a trap house. Because of the person that I was such a nice person. She looked past all of that.
Because she's seen who you are, and then you're developing, you're growing, you're refining.
But how long can I do that?
True say.
So one time she will judge.
Yes.
She will judge after some time she comes by and she sees that nothing's happening.
True say she doesn't see any type of growth. So you feel like as a man you have to be focused on your growth.
Have to constantly.
Yeah.
And this is not something that I was knowledgeable of until recently. Life has to hit you. It has to hit you for you to get it. You told me many stories about what you've been through.
Yes.
And it has to get to a place where you just can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
And you change.
Yeah.
Or you don't.
And for me, I don't really believe that you change. I think that you grow.
Okay.
Because an apple tree doesn't become an orange tree.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, you get better apples, more efficient apples, healthier apples, but it's still an apple tree. And so it's like, even when you say, you know what, imagine something you used to do dumb when you was younger, right? You don't say, I changed out of that.
Yeah.
You know, you say, I grew out of that. I don't do that dumb shit no more. I grew out of that. You know what I mean?
Because then you can still go back and do it, technically, if it's something that you enjoy.
Wow. You say?
It's because
you're still a person.
Your room will get dirty.
Yes,
your house will get dirty.
Of course. Naturally.
You know? So I think the wording that you use is important, because I grew out of accepting my room being dirty.
Yes.
I have to. It's not even about my mother anymore. It's about my mental health. It's not even about keeping a room clean for some woman. It's about my mental health. I can't function in a room. So
it's crazy how for you've begun calling yourself a mental health advocate. Yes. Why have you begun calling yourself that?
Because when I spent 4 days in Brookdale's psych ward, I realized that the people in there, like myself,
yes,
we need somebody to relate to. And I consider myself a pill popper as well, because I take my pills, I take my medication. And I'm trying to change that stigma behind medication, because I truly feel that if the people who really needed to take their medication took their medication,
yes,
they'll be fine. But they're afraid to take it because of whatever thing that they're telling themselves. So I would like to change that.
Do you feel like there's a narrative behind the melanated people and doctors in that whole? Have you read the book? I believe it's something genocide, but for example, like the Tuskegee experiment. You know what I mean? Like, do you believe that? I mean, that's valid.
I believe so, and it's such a thin line to really try to figure out what they're experimenting on. But what I would say is that this country knows nothing about what they're doing as it pertains to medication, any sort of cures. This is why they rely so much on research. If anything, I believe that they are researching how to help us live longer. And again, is that really the goal? So
when you say you're a mental health advocate, so you focus more on the medicinal, or is there an esoteric angle to the mental health?
I'll say holistic.
Holistic. Yes. Okay.
I realize that your room being clean is important.
Yes.
Your relationships being pure is important. Your mind being clean is important. Yes. Your body. When I say clean, in the Bible it says that there's a quote that says you don't have to eat certain foods to get into the kingdom of heaven. And the way that I took that as, we don't have to stress what we eat so much as I have done one time.
Yes.
We don't have to go vegan. We don't have to do this. We don't have to do that. What I would say that we need to do is discipline ourselves.
Yes.
And all that takes is one go round of you saying, you know what, I want to try being vegan. I want to do keto. Do something different than you were doing before, so that you can say that, hey, I once did this, now I'm doing this.
So just to prove to yourself that you have the discipline within
Once you do that, the world is yours. You'll be amazed at how free you become. But people are not even willing to challenge themselves to that. I've been doing this.
It's like discipline is freedom.
Yes, absolutely. I also say this.
That sounds contradictory.
It sounds contradictory, but I used to think money is freedom. But I had to realize that the true freedom is spiritual understanding, spiritual acceptance, and because once you do that, the money will come. So that takes discipline, but where we can start is with the food.
Yes,
it has to be started. I'm not even telling you to stop the drugs.
It's like the diet, because the diet is so important, because it's not even a physical diet. It's also a mental diet. It's a mental diet. So let's get into that. Because it's like, okay, so because what you're eating is you're eating the manifestation of your subconscious.
Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, you're eating what you feel like eating.
Yes, you feel like eating, but what you feel like eating, it came from your mind as well. So nothing is a physical diet. It's a mental diet.
Everything I eat is comfort food. I don't eat comfort food. That's because I used to eat when I was young. So as you said, it's a manifestation of the subconscious. Now, because of that, I realized that it's very important to read and to study. So I just did this thing with my clients where I told them that I can help them understand what they should be studying. And I said, if you don't know how carbs respond to your body, that's what you should be studying. If you don't know how sugar responds to your body, that's what you should be studying. If you don't know how keto responds to your body, this is what you should be studying. And this is if you're trying to do all these things at once.
Yes.
Because once you read the information, your body's going to pick it up. And it's going to naturally, I'm telling you.
Oh.
It's going to naturally.
Why do you think you're going to naturally embody the information that you intake?
You have to.
Yes.
So why do you think you know everything? Honestly, you don't even have to read all these books.
Yes, I think it is the intention of having the knowledge and that information. It's naturally going to come.
The intention we don't have. We can't even get there yet. We can't even say, I'm going to read this book because I know it's going to help me. I'm going to read this article because I know it's going to help me. We're more caught up in life.
But when you say life, what do you mean caught up in life? What do we call
Bills,
caught up in?
Children.
Yeah.
Bills, children.
Yeah, bills. It's like
bills, children.
I feel you. But when you said earlier, you said you have to have like basically the program that you take them through. You have to have the right diet. They have to have the right mental. Then you also have to have pure relationships. What does pure relationships mean to you?
A relationship where there is no lies.
So just a value of integrity within the relationship.
Thank you. Now, it's very hard to say don't lie in this relationship because again, you're not going to tell your spouse everything.
Yes.
But you have to tell them the important things. Yes. Like, do you want to have sex with other people? Or are we going to stay in this relationship by ourselves?
Woo! Wait. You just hit with that. I tried to eat it and it came back and gave me a second jab. Yeah. So you have to ask the hard questions.
You have to ask the hard questions.
Yeah. I think relationships grow when you have those hard conversations.
That's the only way.
Because once you get out of the other side of the hard conversation, you're like, oh, you're a person that I could build with.
Because then, even though, let's just say a man comes to you and tells you that he wants to have like an open relationship, or you as a woman, even as a man, you have to accept it too. You have to accept the fact that
if you want that,
if you want that respect, really the respect. If you want the respect that she will give you to allow you to do this, you have to give her the same respect. She has to be able to do the same. And sex is a healing thing. So we have to get out of this mentality of like sex is like, oh my God, sex.
Yes.
Sex is great, but it's only one form of. I'm so done with sex.
What do you see? What do you mean?
It's one aspect of intimacy that we all need.
We're making love.
Making love is bullshit.
What is making love? We're making love with life.
How do you do that?
What I'm saying? Like, by appreciating life. I think sex is an appreciation.
Yeah, but how can you do that if you did not have those hard conversations with that person? Is that making love?
No.
That's making life.
Because love is understanding.
Exactly.
So I'm not getting.
And if you don't understand the person that you're with fully, like I didn't understand my ex. She didn't understand me. We think we do because of what we tell each other, but there was mad things I didn't tell her.
Yes.
Not against her,
but not even
as far as my knowledge.
Did you not tell her because you did not feel like she didn't understand?
Yeah, she didn't have the capacity.
Or she didn't have the capacity. Yeah. So you have to be very careful about the capacity of your partner.
Absolutely. And again, sometimes we get into relationships and we tell ourselves like, yeah, I can make this work, or I can change this person.
I can change this. Oh, that shit is a train. I've tried it before. You can't change. I found out that you do not make good people, you meet good people.
Even if you found a woman who wants you to change her.
Wow.
It's dangerous, bro.
We do find people who want them because they say put me on your program.
They're infatuated with you. That's what it is. They might damn near be in love with you.
Yeah, it's not what you say.
But again, no, sis. I need you. What I would do is train you to love yourself before you love me. And how do I do that? How do I treat you? I can't tell you how easy this shit is, bro. All you have to do is be honest with these women. Be honest with them and tell them the truth. And they appreciate that so much.
And I say let them choose. And just let them choose. I think that's a lot of men don't want to let them choose.
Yes. Because you know why? We don't even want to tell them about other shorties because we might lose
that one.
We don't want to do that.
Lose that one. I don't want to lose that one. I want her in the pocket.
Exactly.
So, but then, how do you feel about women also having their own options?
Women can have it. They have to have it. Because again, sex is healing. Sex is healing, but you can also have a woman who doesn't even decide to do that. To have sex to heal necessarily, you know, and she can decide whoever she wants to have sex with.
Yes.
I was never okay with that until I got out of my last relationship.
What do you mean?
Because you get into a relationship and you think that you own the person, bro. You think that that's your property. Like, nobody else gonna touch that. That's me right there. Yeah. Again, that's how it was for Matt Long.
True.
But she's also a young lady, and I can't even imagine her talking about. I mean, wanting to have sex with some next nigga. I wasn't having it.
That's crazy. I don't know how you get here.
I mean, I'm there now, though. I ain't gonna lie.
That's crazy that you're there now.
Yeah.
Do you think you would really be there now with another feminine in your reality right now?
As of right now, I'm trying to figure out this whole idea of open relationships and not even polygamy yet.
Yes,
open relationships
just open
first,
relationships,
because polygamy is a whole nother monster. But the whole idea of being emotionally invested into one person, but still being able to be sexually in.
So what do you when you say sex is healing? So you're with one person emotionally, but you're having sex with this other person in a healing way. Do you think it's almost like I
don't want to. Okay, I want to stay away from the word healing because it sounds like I'm some hotep nigga trying to figure everything out, right? No,
but that's what you said.
Yeah, but sex in its general form.
Yeah.
As far as if it's physical, if it's touch, if it's mental, if it's all the other sorts of foreplay, that is a form of healing. Not just the penetration. We have to get out of this mentality of just penetration being healing. The release of penetration. Listen, you can bust a nut without like fucking.
Yes. You know? So like an esoteric orgasm.
I have absolutely no idea how it works.
No, I know how that works. Have you tried ejaculation?
Yes, I have. I don't know how it works.
So what it does is you're sending that same, because we know the seed is creation, right? So that seed of creation, which manifests the entire being, entire human, you're using that same power to ejaculate and manifest within yourself.
Nigga, that shit sounds...
So the thing is, so what you're doing is, once you are about to ejaculate, you hold it, ejaculate, and you send it back up, because what this is your pranic tube. This is the channel of your chakras. Okay. This is the channel of your vertebrae, because you know that right as you are about to ejaculate, brain or spinal fluid is sent down, it automatically, boom, sends your DNA down when you're about to ejaculate, because remember, you're giving away your DNA, your energy, your seed to the woman. All that knowledge, all the ancestral knowledge of yourself just went into your seed is about to go out. So you stop it. You have all that ancestral genealogical knowledge inside of you.
I'm about to try that.
You're holding it.
I'm about to drink my dick tonight and try that shit. Nah, but look, and
you send it back a boat.
How many wasted nuts have you wasted?
You're wasting life. You're wasting creation, manifestation. You're wasting it. But so what you do is, how you do it, you have to control it with your breathing. Okay. It is right before you do, you're actually pulling it back up, but you're breathing from how you're drawing it up. You're going from the root. Okay. So visualize. Okay, you have your crown, you have your third eye, you have your throat. You have your heart, you have your solar plexus, you have your sacral, you have your root, right? Your sacral and then your root. So you visualize your root, and when you're about to ejaculate, right? You're at that, but it's a discipline though, because you want to release the tension. That's really all it is. It's a release of tension because it's a release of tension within your own life.
Facts.
Because you are having things that are going on within your own life. You're like, you know what? I want to. There's a now you're like, that's what they say, getting off. You're trying to get off the energy roller coaster that you are in within your own life through the ejaculation.
Let's talk about it.
Yes.
This energy that we're trying to release, should we keep it inside?
Absolutely. Because it is what it is. It is a self-control. My brother was telling me about, I forget what the concept name, it was last night. Shout out to Brother Emerald. He was telling me how what that is the desire to release. If you have the discipline and hold it, see it as a flame. You are that flame of desire, that flame of energy of creation. The more you hold that life in, all you're doing is bringing more flames to yourself and building the flame within. So it gets to a certain point where you have no need to ejaculate, because you are the flame yourself. You are, it's almost like, brother said,
that's a fact.
Because you came in yourself. Literally, but what it was you came through yourself.
You came from yourself.
You came from yourself. Wow. Exactly.
So I'm gonna try this tonight, buddy. I'm gonna try this tonight.
So it lends itself to the manifestation.
Cause I ain't gonna lie.
Yes.
The way I've been feeling the past couple of days, I don't have a woman to have sex with. And I realized that release is what I was looking for. Now, if I had a woman who's like, nah, babe, let's practice holding it in.
Yes,
that's the type of woman I need.
It's like, but that's what we as men have to say. We have to tell her that.
Absolutely.
It's like we have to go and say, we are going to try this pranic sacred energy exchange. We're going to try this tantric technique. And this goes back to so you can't. Sex. But then it's amazing. What's amazing about it is I was reading Way the Superior Man, and they have a chapter in it when they were like, what a woman says is not always what she wants. She just wants to rest in the divine masculinity and self-discipline that you show. For example, we had a story of what happened is there was this man, he was learning tantric yoga with his partner, right? They go out to the forest and they're like, you need to have sex in the forest, you know what I mean? So they just, in the energy of it, they go to the forest, they start having sex. And she's like, come on, yes, baby, come in me, right? And he's like, really? She's like, yeah, do it. And he's like, all right, in this moment, he knows, you know what? I'm practicing this tantric yoga. I shouldn't be releasing this, but she's saying, you know, like, come inside me. So he was like, that split second decision. He was like, I'm let it go. Boom. So he blasts off, right? He's looking at her, he's like, ah. And he looks down and she's like, and he's like, what's wrong? And she's like, you came. And he was like, yeah, you told me to come in you. And, you know, she was like, no, I said that because I wanted to see that you wouldn't do it.
Wow.
I wanted to see that you had that divine masculinity and that control, that self-control and that discipline. So what she says is not always what she wants. She wants it. It's a test. It's a test of your masculinity. It's a test of yourself. Facts. And you see that within your own life when dealing with the feminine. It's like, you wanted me to say. Sometimes they want you to say no. Yeah. I want you to say no to me. You know, but I want to get you to the brink of the emotionality of what I can do and see that you can hold your ground. Wow. Because if you can't hold your ground against me and my feminine self, how can you hold yourself against the world? Facts. So if you can hold yourself against me, I can relax.
You see, all of what we're talking about is I think a man should master before he even considers taking on 2-3 wives. I don't even understand how a man can maintain that. Sexually, even.
Yeah, shout out to Brother Polite.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's
I got it. He's a god though. He's a
I don't know. He's a little bit iffy. We'll talk about that later. I was thinking about him on the way here actually. One thing I would say is he's one of the youngest people that have made polygamy like a thing.
Yeah, true said.
Yeah,
me looking at it. Yeah, but I understand the nation building aspect of it. Because when he talks about it, of course, he can articulate it. Some people just want polygamy and they said, it's part of my religion and, you know, or I want this other wife and this, you know, this is because you're feminine, you are mine. Like, shut up, like, you're about to smack her. But Paul, like, how he comes, he articulates like, yo, when you come, you have to have the same values. Yeah. You have to know that you are entering into a contract. You're entering a contract. It's a contract. Yeah. It's you entering into a business. Yeah. My other wives have to come together. We have to have a meeting if we want to involve you and your energies within our contract, within our union, and realizing that what we are building is generational wealth here. And realizing that how can he even breaks down the math of how can we create generational wealth if we're working 40 hours a week, and he breaks down, okay, the amount of money that we get is literally impossible to get generational wealth by being yourself in a unit. You have to have a family unit. And so what having a feminine does, it lends itself to the physical responsibility of investing. So if 3 of us have jobs and one of you doesn't have a job where we're supporting you, then you're going to use all of your finances for the investments that we all want to pour into. You know what I mean? So he lends itself. Shout out to Brother Polite. He lends itself to the idea of polygamy and also but open relationships for you.
Now, open relationships. Honestly, I think that all young men should do it until they try to figure out if they're going to be polygamous or in a monogamous relationship.
Okay.
I believe I heard this guy speak on it today. He was like, if you're a woman and you have a man who is always on top of you to have sex, and you're just annoyed about it, why wouldn't you be open to an open relationship? And you know what it has to do with what we spoke about earlier, possessiveness. You feel as if you own the person, or this person owes you loyalty.
Owes you? Oh, yeah, I think that's dangerous, because it's like, what do you?
Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. What the hell is loyalty?
What is loyalty?
If it is that,
I think loyalty to self.
But if she and I are in a relationship, and I guess loyalty would be if I gave you my word that I wasn't going to do anything outside of you, and I broke it. That's the loyalty that's broken. But
okay,
as far as that's the only exactly, but that's the only form of loyalty that we really pinpoint, because that's the one that hurts us the most. Yeah. What if you find out again? If you find out your man is talking to some next chick in a very sexual way, or in a way flirtatious way. I mean, is that lack of loyalty? I don't know. Lack of loyalty, I find it could be whenever I need you, if you're there. I don't know, because everything else to me is not. Because
at the same time, it's like, you know what, you're mad about this other person in my reality, but I'm here here in front of you right now. And I think to a certain degree, it's not a respect of my presence, not a respect of my time. If you wanna talk about someone who's not here while I'm sitting in front of you, this is not a good use of my time, me and you being right here in this presence. You know what I mean? I could, at the end of the day, I think that's why it's important for you to isolate, because you're like, you know what, I can be by myself. I don't have to be spending my time, attention, and energy that way. We only got one life. You know what I'm saying? Right. And there are many energies that we can harmonize with. That is why we even have this conversation about open relationships, because we know that. I think you have to have a certain degree of understanding that there are many souls within this reality that you would have an amazing experience. Yeah. You need to have an abundance mindset. You know what I mean? Like,
not just in money, but people. I mean, I stop myself from talking to women a certain way because I'm in a relationship. Yeah. I stop myself from flirting with women because I'm in a relationship. I don't like that. That's how I am. I flirt. I charm. I make people feel good, male or female. Yes. So, do I lack loyalty if I'm in a relationship?
I think it's just have the boundaries.
These are kind of exactly. The only boundary is what? Sex.
Yeah, penetration. Yeah, she would say. Yeah, she would say. Yeah. I mean, no, that's not the only boundary. It's like, if you. There are certain nuances, like, you go for a hug, don't hold it for too long. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, listen, all these are nuances, as you said. They're nuances. They're nuances. So again, let's say I hug you, and I embrace this extra long. Some people would say that's gay. Is that gay? No.
Because we're brothers.
Exactly. Now, if I did that to a woman, is that cheating?
No, I see what you're saying. It's like that sis. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like that's sis.
Now, if I hug you and I grab your booty,
that's a whole other
That's a whole other situation.
Yeah, you say.
But
you smack it.
Yeah.
Come on. He said, "Come on, bro. It's about you. You're an animal. You're an animal."
Yes, but let's just wrap this. The whole idea of open relationships. I would like women to understand, or men rather, that women are allowed to be in open relationships as well. You're a woman, Yes. I'm not saying that there isn't women who already isn't, but your woman is allowed to, and if you want to, you have to make her be free enough to make that decision. I find.
What is so you've been really outspoken on your social media recently. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't remember a time within your social media as I've known you where you've been having these conversations where you've been so outspoken, speaking about metaphysical reality. You're posting your routines. You're posting about the books you're reading. You're posting about the videos you're watching, about the conversations you're having. What was the catalyst for you to be so outspoken as you are right now within your content?
I had a breakup, and after the breakup, after everything, they diagnosed me with bipolar and manic depression, and I realized that. What does it mean to be bipolar? Well, manic means that I have a whole bunch of, you just nonstop. My thoughts are nonstop. Yes. There was a time when I was up for 3 days and just spewing.
72 hours?
Spewing, yeah. Just spewing information. Spewing. Coming from nowhere. I don't even know where it's coming from.
Just downloads.
Downloads left and right. We would watch these videos one day.
Yeah.
But that was the stimulus to...
That was a catalyst.
Yeah. To how I talk now. What you see on my social media is just basically how my mind is, just a little bit more organized.
What about in terms of the aggression that you...
The aggression came because I was angry. I was angry at the situation I was in. I was angry at my family.
You said there was a quote, not to cut you off. What you said was there was one where you said, I think it was a caption where you said, "Yo, excuse my language as well, because you going there." No, you said, "Yo, when I was on the sidelines, I seen a lot of fuck shit." Yeah.
And a lot of the fuck shit is what I see in the so-called con. You don't really know the conscious community yet, like I.
No, I'm still double.
The polites.
Still double.
The polites
Umar
like
Johnson. You know what I mean? For me, I'm more Kaba Kamene.
I know.
Gregory.
Phil Valentine.
Phil Valentine.
Malachi
York.
You know Bobby Hemming yet?
Heard of him. Yes. Well, please do.
I'll put you
bless.
But I don't like how they go about doing what they're doing, especially in the name of helping black people. I don't know. All I can do is just tell you what I would do if I had the money, and that's. But I don't like doing that anymore. I like to just show.
I show you.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess you. I want to say less.
Exactly.
Because I'm not at that place yet, so
Exactly.
it's almost like I'm talking.
Exactly. That's how I used to talk bigger back in the day, like some shit.
Yeah.
I ain't have nothing. This is when I was babying in the knowledge. But now that I can actually galvanize people, I know I can do that.
Yes.
I'm more interested in meeting people who are already further than me, so that we can.
I get you saying yes.
Come together.
So collaboration
like
is becoming You said like Voltron. You say words. So even what is a metaphysical? So in that, right, you're getting a lot of knowledge, a lot of downloads right now because of the place you're at within your life. What is a metaphysical law that you've realized in terms of, because I've seen you make videos on numerology. What is a metaphysical law that you've come into within your life right now that you
numerology?
Yes, just numerology just in itself.
What I do is, my ex asked me why do I. That's how I communicate with the universe. That's how I know if what I'm doing is right on time. Now, right now it's 12:22, 12:26. So 22 is a very important number.
Okay.
22 is a very important number. 22, 23, 33, 44. So I'm pretty sure once whoever's watching this, I challenge you. From now on, you're gonna start seeing it. The 222s, the 333s, the 444s, and what I see that as
even me in my own reality, I'm gonna start seeing 222, 333.
Yes, and this thought you should wear a watch.
Yes.
But
thank you for that. That was actually a nugget for men right there.
But look, I got 2 watches, analog and digital.
Yes.
So
you go crazy. Look at the flex. Man of flex.
Exactly. So that's how I communicate. That's how the universe communicates with me. So if I see 222, I know I'm right on time.
Do you have a connection with the Orishas as well? I've heard that there's a connection with the Orishas. I don't go that. I ain't go that far. Okay.
So
what does the 22? What does it mean? What is it?
Okay,
actually?
I can tell you.
When it communicates with you, what is it saying?
I can't tell you what it's saying. All I can do is tell you that whatever I'm doing, I know I'm supposed to be doing it.
Okay, in that moment.
Yeah, in that moment. So if I'm thinking about something, it's very important to pay attention to your thoughts. If I'm thinking about something, 555 or 55, it's like a change. It's like that means that it's like a change is about to happen.
Okay.
So I'll pay attention to what is changing.
In your reality,
exactly.
Okay, if you're looking at people, you get a call at that moment.
Exactly.
Okay, when you're hyper aware of the call because I just seen a license plate that just says 555. Exactly. I just looked at a mailbox that just said 222.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's a confirmation. What are some confirmations that you've had in reality? Is it just that same? I'm supposed to be here in this moment.
That's the best. That's how I use it for myself.
Yes, maybe. Okay.
But people can go deeper, and I'll even give you a challenge. Whatever time it is during the day, 12:28. Type that into Google, and then see what vibration that number has, and then pay attention to your thoughts.
The vibration that number has.
Yeah, because that's really what it is. Numbers and vibration. Same thing with shapes.
So let's say it's 12:28, right? So I'm typing in Google
1228.
Yes.
That's so you put meaning.
Meaning. Okay.
Angel number. Angel number is another word. And it's going to give you the frequency of a number.
What is your idea on angels? What do you believe about
angels are people. People come into your life and they're there to change or help facilitate change.
Yes.
Give you if it's some sort of inspiration.
Angels. So angels are people who come into your life that motivate that inspire change.
Yes, inspire change. Not no spookiness.
I know, definitely not no spookiness. I love how you can even think about angels as angles. You know what I mean? Because
honestly,
angels are angles of L. Because L.
All right, Doctor Yours.
Listen, but the thing is, I came into this state of reality before I listened to you.
Okay.
So it was amazing because I was like, wait, because L is the Most High. So I was like, L is the Most High. Angels are angles of L. So that's why you have Michael, you have Gabriel, you have Raphael, you have Jophiel. Oh, wow. And it maybe you have DNA explosions from that, because you realize that there is an angel that goes with every color, or there's an angel that goes with every, what is
it's degrees.
Almost degrees, right? Once you find out what, let's say, okay, for me within my reality, right? I realized that my aura is violet. Right, and I realized that the color of the crown chakra is violet. Right, I realized that violet goes with the archangel Jophiel. Okay. So if I'm like, okay, if I understand that my aura is violet, I understand that violet is the crown chakra, and I understand that crown chakra in violet goes with the archangel Jophiel. That means that I have a total inner and understanding of my energy. So when I'm in moments of meditation and visualization, I can visualize my energy and hone into my specific frequency of energy, even to the point where find out what the frequency of violet is, or the frequency of the color of your aura is, and
how
play
do you find out the frequency of the color?
You just type it in. What is the frequency of violet? It's like a binaural beats.
How do you know that you're violet?
And that's a good question. Thank you for that question. I appreciate that question. How I discerned that was, you look at all the colors of the chakras, right? Intuitively, from a spiritual level, what color? I ain't there yet. What color resonates with you?
Red. Which one is that?
It is what it is.
Which one is that?
I don't know which one it is, but you'll find out which one it is. That's your journey right there. So you find out, what chakra is red. Then you find out, okay, what is the archangel that goes with that same chakra or that same color. Archangel. Then you find out the frequent archangel. Then you figure out the frequency of the color red, and then you're ultra tuning yourself to your frequency.
Just like what we just said about reading the information. Once you pick it up, it's naturally. It's naturally coming. And it's because you're supposed to. If you go actually do it. Yes. But I mean, everybody. If I tell you to do something, it's your job to go do it. But if you don't do it, I mean, hey, I'm definitely gonna do that shit.
Yeah, and it's like it's what's amazing is that, like you said, people grow on their own time. Because sometimes you give the information and people don't act on it. You know what I mean? Like for you saying, okay, I'm going to go act on that information. How do you motivate people to act within being a personal trainer?
It's hard. It's very difficult. And I'm taking a life coach certification right now. And I'm learning that it is not our job we are facilitators of change. We're not trying to create, we're not trying to have people build a dependency on us, a codependency.
Yes.
So it's important to create a situation where you are helping somebody build themselves up so that they don't need you. How do I go about motivating people? Honestly, with my Instagram. I just post as much as I can. And what I'm learning
you stay within their subconscious mind. Stay feeding it.
And you have to want to be making a change, not necessarily with one specific person, but with everybody.
Because really, you're making the change within yourself. Because you're growing. There's a certain level of accountability within yourself that you have to have to even do that consistently.
And I'll say this last thing. I realized that the only time that I'm successful is when I'm living what I'm talking about. When I make the most money like that.
When you're living what you're talking about.
Okay, so let's just say I was fat. Yeah. I've been a fat, well, not OD fat. Yeah, I've been a chunky.
You were chunky. Exactly.
And when I'm like that, it's horrible. And once I get back on track, the money starts flowing again. So I look at that as you can't, if you don't walk it like you talk it, you ain't gonna get it.
So did it come from a state? So money started coming when you stopped, not quote unquote caring, but it was like
it started coming when I started caring.
When you started
caring about how I looked,
but you weren't caring about the money itself.
Well,
of course, of course you cared about the money, but
the money naturally came.
Yes.
When I wasn't doing what I was doing,
yes.
I would worry about the money. But because I had my time picked up doing other things like meal prepping, exercising, going to work, it made the money come quicker.
I think it's because it almost found a flow.
Yeah,
it found something to follow. Like if you with the disorganization. Where is it going to go? Like, let's say that the flow of abundance is coming towards you. You don't have systems or routines or even channels setups yet. You don't have a fucking bank account.
Yeah.
And your joint just, like the flow of abundance just bounce off because there's no flow. So once you started following and being an example and just having routine and having discipline, it's crazy how it goes back to discipline. That is when there's a correct channel for that. And I think that's even amazing for even the feminine to have the most effect in our lives. We have to be a channel for them to flow through as well.
Most definitely. Well, we both have to be a channel. That's the thing. We both have to be filled. There's no reason why people are going into relationships not being filled themselves already.
Yeah.
You can't give somebody something if you don't have anything to give them. And I think if we just get into relationships because we like the person.
Yeah.
If you really like the person, son, you really ain't
gonna I think if you love the person, you will realize I am not at the place within myself where I can be of most value to you. So I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not gonna waste your energy. You know, I like you, I love you first.
That's like men saying, you know what, babe, I got this other chick over here, but you still wanna have sex. A real man, man, is gonna say something like what you said. Well, not even real, but somebody who's respectful.
Yes.
It's another word you use, but I can't remember. But that would be the best route to go.
Do you believe that a woman is also a reflection of yourself?
Absolutely, we all are. You're a reflection of me.
But I think I would say, but more when you're in a relationship, it's
romantic.
Of course. More
I would say that
you literally see your assumptions, you see your program, your conditioning. I think you even lend yourself. How you say your ex was not able to come to a certain level of understanding. She would not even be able to see that if she had never met you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. So it was a reflection.
And I think it was a reflection. She was a reflection of me in the sense that I was where I was at.
Yes.
When I was with her.
I was gonna say it's almost like did you underestimate yourself before her?
I definitely did.
Definitely
did. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. Things just just got back crazy.
I did know you, bro. It's
because I had a Free Mind Fitness was real African centered. When it first started, I will have you read my business plan. Oh my God, it is elaborate. I compare myself to Imhotep, my nigga. Anyway,
yes,
I was here.
Yes.
Really trying to, everything started slowing down, and then I met Shorty. And then I met Shorty, and then I fell deep into the corporate world again because she's corporate.
Yes, she is. Yes.
So I changed my logo from the African continent to the Bells now.
Yes.
And it became professional.
Yes, that's fine. That's fine though. That's fine.
It's not fine.
It's not.
That's not Shak. Shak is not professional.
Ooh.
But again, Shak is professional because Shak does not disrespect.
That's one aspect of self.
Yeah,
it's really when you are, because you're saying this is for the melanin people.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually being specific.
Now,
I'm making my content.
Let me tell you how the confidence.
You do need to be specific.
I do, because I had the African.
You describe what you got going on over here.
Yeah, well, this is not it, but this is something.
I'm talking about the crystal.
Oh, the crystals.
The crystals, the symbology.
We got some. This is a clear quartz, and this is actually an Ethiopian cross. And these are some beads, and this is an arrowhead, because I'm a warrior. You feel me? These are all gifted.
And then the rings, you got the
rings.
You got the
I got the ancestors for the Native Americans, the and and I'm a Taurus. So
yes, bless.
So is that.
I think it's definitely your clothing is definitely an epitomization of what you embody.
This is something that I had to embrace. Back to
the material.
Back to the logo real quick.
Yes.
I used to have a problem with standing up for my blackness after a while because I thought that it might have marginalized me. But I realized that it's all about how you do it. I'm allowed to be as African as I want to be, but it's really about the speech that I use. I used to be very much against white people, very much against gay people, very much against everything Babylon.
Yes.
But I realized that I have to let people do what they do, and I'll do what I do. The same way that I want them to accept me.
Yes, exactly.
The same way I have to accept them.
Let me move. Okay.
That's what I learned.
So a place of no judgment.
That's what I learned from her. Well, while being with her. Long story.
I think it's crazy because it's almost a question of nobody asks themselves. A good question to ask yourself: what is something that you learn? What is something that you've learned from somebody that you dislike?
Yeah. Ooh, I would say dislike her.
Oh, no, I wouldn't say dislike her, but just within your life, because it makes you it releases that whole
I didn't
because it becomes intellectual.
Yes.
What is the lesson in the situation?
Yes.
Even though I don't like them, what can I still learn from this person? What can I learn from this? Let's say my manager.
Yes.
My manager is I have a problem with them. What can I learn from my manager at the same time? How
many times have we left jobs and it's like, yo, fuck that. But I've left jobs very arrogantly, stubbornly. But I do agree. I learned quite a lot from her. She wore the wigs and the weaves and the nails. And I was moving from a place where I used to shun black women for wearing these things. But I remember that. Yeah, I had to be with her in order to accept.
How do you feel about that now?
I'm okay with it.
Yes.
Absolutely okay.
Yes.
I'm okay with it.
Because it's like
I'm okay with the woman being herself. And as long as she can be herself, I'm okay with her wearing all the weaves she wants.
Do you have her realize? Does she have to, within your reality, if she's with you, does she have to have an understanding of where that comes from in terms of why you want to do that, in terms of the Eurocentric standards of beauty? I'm okay with you doing that, but understand that you are acquiescing to your centric standard of beauty and conditioning.
Also, I'll say this: black women, we tend to forget of how much power they've had or held in ancient times. If they had control of all this, they would do whatever the fuck they want. And we are in no place to say anything. So, and I think that a lot of the times where we come from as men is this place of authority. And we think that we are allowed to say because we are the men. But, nah. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
You had a video where you were going in.
Really?
You know the video I'm talking about. When you're going in, you are like, black women, please explain to me. Please, no, listen. Yeah, listen. He said, yo, listen. He said, I gotta put the phone down. Please explain to me why you are so. He said, I understand why you're hard-headed. Why it's hard for you to come. Like, so what that video? Where did that come from? What's that?
Are we real?
Yeah.
That came from a lot of animosity from my ex.
Yes. Yes.
But what I meant is, okay.
Yes.
There's an interracial relationships, right? And we ask ourselves, why is it so high in our community? It's because white people don't have to go through half the shit that we go through. Not to say that they don't go through it. Not to say that they don't go through hard times, but things like hair weaves.
Yes.
I mean, women spend their entire childhood sitting between their mother's legs, combing their hair until it gets too tender-headed, and then they put the weaves in their hair.
Yes.
All because of convenience.
Yes.
White women have, again, not all white women, but white people got nannies and shit, bro. Like, they don't have to worry that the trauma associated with life is different.
With being black.
With being black. Now, again, it's very hard to have this conversation and not say that we're talking about some black people.
Yes.
But it is what it is. I think I'm pretty average as far as black people.
Okay. Average in terms of what?
As far as like
of the conditioning or the trauma? The trauma of being,
as far as whatever being black is.
I get what you're saying.
You are too. You black, you got hair, you look like a black man.
Yes.
So I'm sure that we've experienced some of the same things.
Of course.
Now, women as well have experienced certain things.
So what are you saying that the trauma of a black woman is, you would understand why they act the way they act, because the trauma of being, because it's not just a trauma of being black, it's trauma of being a woman on top of that. So it's like there's a higher standard in how they should even conduct themselves when it's like, yo, I'm still human. Even in having open relationships, you're saying it's okay to have open relationships. There's some women who don't even have the understanding that they can have open relationships to even express that. Because you're saying, yo, it's okay for a woman to have open relationships. Some women have even come to the place where they're like, oh, I can do that. Like,
they might want to, and they have.
I'm not a hoe. Really? Like, it's news to them. Like, it's news. It's like, news. You know what I'm telling them? It's like, well, no, you're not a hoe. Like, really? Like, it's like, it's just like, oh, thank God, because I was already.
But I don't think that this is my thing. I don't think that's our responsibility as men. It's not our responsibility to let women know that they're allowed to do this.
I'll come to the understanding.
It's not.
Yeah, I get you saying.
You feel me? But they gotta get it for themselves. But then again, it is our responsibility because we're the ones explaining it to them or having to explain to them.
Because we're explaining
they don't have the vocabulary.
Yes. True say. True say. Because for them, it's an emotional thing.
But you have to let
them know.
The
intellectual, the logical point of view of it as we're articulating it. Exactly. Because they're doing it anyway. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But it is a. We're just gonna let's acknowledge it because we're coming into this space, into this presence.
You are doing it anyway. And we're just call yourself finding another boyfriend every time.
Yes.
And then getting hurt every time. Mm-hmm. I mean, hey sis, if you want to do
that, don't have the conversation. Don't do it. Let's not do it to him, bro. Yo, brother, I love what we've talked about so far. Yes, I do. I can't wait to watch it again. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your knowledge. Thank you for answering the questions about where you are with your journey, where you are at with your clients, where you're at with with your relationships, and just your process right now, bro. So, thank you for coming through.
Peace, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yo, talking about mental health, talking about mental sexual transmutation, talking about the process, talking about polygamy and monogamy and generational wealth, and what does it take to have discipline, and what does it take for you to manifest your reality through desire, and what desire means, and what really what life means from a higher perspective, from a metaphysical perspective, even in terms of numerology and even in terms of just understanding yourself on an energetic level. I've learned so much from this conversation. Shak, thank you for coming through.
Got you, my brother.
Bless. Please follow him at Shak_Allah on IG. Follow me at Reverend Ra. Bless.
Peace.
Enjoy.